NDC. Extensive. We've heard from the NDC, we've heard from Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia as well, and on what they intend, the plans they have for sports development in the country if voted into office in December, after December 7th. I'm sure by 9th or 10th, you will know who the president of this country will be. And of course, on 7th January, they'll be sworn into office. And when they are saying that when they are sworn into office from that particular period, whichever one wins, from that period, then they'll begin to implement these plans they have for sports development. And I love the bit where Adabana ended, the bit on the contribution of sports to the GDP of this country, and the reason why we are way below when the potential to do more is obvious. So I'm only hoping and praying, yes, I'm adding prayers to it, because we are in Ghana, in Africa, that this will not end up being talk shop and just stuff we've written in books and papers for them to stay there. We must, as a point and as a matter of urgency, realize that indeed sports has a huge potential to impact positively on this country's GDP. Sports, I repeat, has a huge potential of creating massive employment for the young folks of this country, and therefore impact hugely on this economy's GDP, so much so that if we invest right and we place sports up there on the shelf and not put it down like we've done all these years, and only pretend to be pumping money into sports development, when all we are doing actually is pumping money into pockets of a few people in football, in the Black Stars, and not sports development over the period, then we'll stay where we are. I'm saying so because for the past, since I grew up and started following politics in this country, at least it's been the NDC, it's been the MPP who have been at the helm of affairs all these years. 8 years, 16 years, 16 years, whatever it is, at least for the past, when we became from 1992. It's been NDC 8 years under Rawlings, MPP 8 years under J.A. Kufuor, NDC 8 years under JM, and of course at Tamils. MPP have had another 8 years under Nana and Bawumia. So it's square. But all these years, you and I have been witness to what sports really has been reduced to. It's mostly been about our governments investing mainly in the Black Stars. I still can't understand, for instance, why, as a country as old as this country is, we do not have a proper stadium in all the regions we have in this country. And the manifestos are now being released and promising to build stadiums in the ones that don't have. And even the ones that have got stadiums, you heard them all admitting, the ones that have got stadiums, what is the current standard like? They are all not maintained well. So they are all in a deplorable state. And even the one that you and I cherish and we so much talk about, because that's where our Black Stars play almost all so matches, Kumasi, Babaya Stadium. You and I know the story around Babaya Stadium. It is still up to standard because of maintenance and how we struggle as NSA or as government to maintain these stadiums. So as a nation, as proud as we are as Ghanaians, is it not sad that we, after so many years of independence and being a nation, over 60 or so years of independence, we are still listening to manifestos that are not talking about building stadiums in almost every region. And we are talking about maintaining the ones that we already have that are already poor. Cape Coast was built just some few years ago, and today cannot host a Black Stars international game. It can't. Accra was refurbished in 2008, thereabout. It's gone through a number of refurbishments all this while. But still, there are always issues. Kumasi, same. Tamale, Esipon. I won't speak about the two. You know the story of Tamale and Esipon and the state it finds itself in. So it is just sad, and I'm hoping and praying again that all these talks, all these wonderful plans will not remain in the books, will not stay on the screens and become talk shops. and that we will see something different, something tangible being done by whoever wins power this December and next year becomes president, will begin to change things and go from the ordinary we've seen all these years and begin to show us some extraordinary stuff for sports development. I've always been sad whenever I listen to budgets being read in Parliament. They spend hours, minutes talking about every sector, education, so many minutes, economy, so many minutes, agriculture, so many minutes, health, so many minutes. And then when they get to sports, it's just one line, at most 2 lines. Because we don't place value on sports and what sports can do for this country. But I always say that, you see, unless you are myopic in your thinking, and you're still living in the years of yesteryears, where sports was seen as a leisure and fun, and not business as it is now, then you'll be thinking and doing the things we've been doing, like we've been doing all these while. Now, sports is producing billions for economies. Billions of dollars for economies. But yet in Ghana, we're still playing around. Now it's all about football, and only our footballers are out there bringing some money home. Back then, we had boxers like Azuma, like Ikwote, and the Poison Dems, who were fighting out there. And every bout they went out there to fight, it brought purse, money, back home to Ghana. Can you imagine when Azuma Dems were fighting, Ikwote Dems were fighting, and their purse was, say, $2 million. They win. Where does the money go? They bring the money to Ghana. Now, our boxers are all, we got a GBA issues, hockey issues, golf issues, tennis issues, athletics issues, even the football issues. So I'm hoping and praying that indeed we'll be serious this time around, and from December, when the elections are done and whoever wins, from next year, we're going to see something tangible for sports development in this country.